You're being held up by Sonic the Hedgehog right now. So much fun. Okay, this is gonna be not at all professional, not at all, but we're gonna do this. I have a script here. It's gonna be great. So, here we go. Ethel Cain lore. So, although it doesn't cover every piece of Ethel Cain's lore, I'm going to be discussing Preacher's Daughter in detail. Preacher's Daughter was released in 2022 by Hayden and Adonia under the stage name Ethel Cain. So, Ethel Cain is an album, 2 different people. It's split into 3 acts in my mind. We have Act 1, the exposition, Act 2, On the Run, and Act 3, Isaiah. So, Preacher's Daughter takes place in 1991, which is 10 years after Ethel Cain's dad, Joseph Cain, aka The Preacher, has died. The album starts with Family Tree intro. This song sets up the theme of religious trauma and the idea that Ethel will never be able to escape the ties she has to religion and her identity as the preacher's daughter. The first lyric of the album is, "These grasses all over my body remind me of who I used to be." So, already starting off strong. We also have the lyrics, "Jesus can always reject his father, but he cannot escape his mother's blood. He'll scream and try to wash it off of his fingers, but he'll never escape what he's made up of." So, pretty intense. Something I want to mention, because it does come back, is the theme of motherhood. A lot of people don't talk about that when they talk about this album, but Ethel's mom she's pretty important to the story. She's going to have her own album eventually. Her name is Vera. Basically, because of the death of her husband, she has been withdrawn as being a mother figure to Ethel, which causes complicated feelings between the two of them. And although it's not stated in the Genius lyrics on Spotify, it has what you can hear at the beginning of Family Tree intro, which is a man speaking. Maybe it's the preacher, we don't know, but it says, a mother is a very special thing, and other than the Lord Jesus Christ, I think a mother is one of the most precious gifts that God can give to this world, because the mother is the one who loves the Lord and always seems to be there when we need her." So, motherhood, theme in this album. It's like buried, but it's in there. The next song is American Teenager. This song is about the frustration around the idea of what an American teenager is supposed to be. So we have putting too much faith in the make-believe, another high school football team. The neighbor's brother came home in a box, but he wanted to go, so maybe it was his fault. Another red heart taken by the American dream. In this song, we learn that Ethel has taken over in leading her congregation during the church services on Sunday. She's also using alcohol to numb her pain through this experience. We see that in the lyrics, "A life full of whiskey, but I always deliver. Jesus, if you're listening, help me handle my liquor. And Jesus, if you're there, why do I feel alone in this room with you?" So that is a very heavy lyric. In my mind, Jesus, if you're there, why do I feel alone? Wow. So she's like questioning her religion anyway already, but she's doing this nonetheless. The next song is A House in Nebraska. This song is about Willoughby Tucker. Willoughby Tucker isn't really elaborated on in this album, but he has his own album, so we can get into that if we want. He's very pivotal to the story, though. The house itself in A House in Nebraska is metaphorical. It's a reference to the life that Ethel and Willoughby used to fantasize about when they would, eventually leave their town in the future, because it's like young love, her and Willoughby, They spent this time in an abandoned house creating idealized versions of each other while playing pretend to not face the realities of their lives and the trauma that they carry, which is very much expanded on in the album Willoughby Tucker, I'll Always Love You. It is like, it's insane, but it is expanded on, so I can talk about that in another video if you want it. This song takes place after Willoughby has left. We aren't sure in what way he's left, if he's left town, if he's dead, we don't know, but Ethel blames herself for him leaving. So we have lyrics, "I still wait at the edge of town, praying straight to God that maybe you'll come back around. I cry every day and the bottles make it worse, 'cause you were the only one I was never scared to tell I hurt." Very heavy. This is one of her most popular songs, so you've probably heard it. Highly recommend this song. Great. Gut-wrenching. Love it. So then we move on to Western Nights. This is the beginning of Act 2, so we are now on the run. This song, not directly, but we have certain like newspaper clippings and stuff that Ethel basically released when the album came out that gives us more context to things that aren't explicitly stated in the album. So not directly, but this song introduces the character Logan Phelps, who Ethel has started dating and runs away with. So we have left the small town now. Logan is very obviously a violent person. We can see this through the lyrics, but Ethel is deeply in love with him despite this fact. We don't know how long that she has known him, but we can tell that she is very much in love. And this is where we start to see Ethel's naivety. I'm definitely not saying that word right. Shh, shh, it's okay. I'm not an English major at all. She is naive, and she is also an unreliable narrator, which we will see a lot more as we go on. We know that Logan and probably Ethel are committing crimes as they travel farther away from their town. So we have there's a part in the song where it's mentioned that Logan is robbing ATMs, stuff like that. And then we know that Logan gets killed during a robbery through an inverse newspaper that Hayden has created. R.I.P. Logan, you will not be missed. The chorus of this song says, "Trouble's always gonna find you, baby, but so will I. Crying only because I'm happy. Hold me across every state line. I'm never gonna leave you, baby, even if you lose what's left of your mind. 'Cause you know I'll be right there beside you, riding through all these western nights." Obviously not, 'cause he dies. Okay, sorry. I'm trying to be serious. I'm sorry. Next track we move on to is Family Tree, which is a reflection of Family Tree intro. After the events of Western Nights, Ethel is on the run from the cops and on her own. So we see that Ethel is kind of reflecting on her past in religious terms. Like, this song really focuses on religion, and things start taking a pretty dark turn here. So like, warning, the album does get pretty dark. I'll try to put like trigger warnings on the screen here because there is like a lot. She talks about the violence that she's endured in her life and how she's kind of accustomed to it, and she's so accustomed to it that it has become a part of her, and she is now a violent person, as she has learned from her parents. We have the lyrics, "I'm just a child, but I'm not above violence. My mama raised me better than that. When the preacher talks, that man demands his silence. And daddy said shoot first and run, then don't look back." So we also see here that she kind of separates her dad and the preacher into two separate people, even though they are the same person, because the town that she grew up in sees the preacher. They know the preacher, the like kind man, the godly man, but she knows that her dad, not like that. He is violent, he is completely different, but no one else knows. She is the only one who knows. And the chorus is essentially her asking for someone to give her a baptism, even though she's likely already been baptized. It's like a metaphorical baptism because she wants to be washed of her sins. She alludes to the fact that she has also killed someone before. A big fan theory is that she killed her dad. A note that I want to make is that this song sounds like she's trudging along on a road, just like the way it's written. I don't know how to describe it unless you listen to it, but I really love that. She tries to like incorporate kind of the way that Ethel is feeling into the way the music feels. Love that. I'm so obsessed with that. The chorus says, "So take me down to the river and bathe me clean, put me on the back of your white horse to ride all the way to the chapel, let you wash all over me." So that's where kind of I meant like the baptism thing. Okay, hard times. This is one of the heaviest songs on the entire album, honestly. This is where we learn the extent of the abuse that Ethel's dad kind of put onto her. Ethel, like Hayden herself has described this song by saying, quote, This song details sexual abuse Ethel suffered at the hands of her father at the age of 9. Being put into such a traumatic situation at such a young age forced her to grow up fast. So the lyric that kind of reflects that quote is where she says, "Hide me there under the leaves, 9 going on 18." So she's 9, but she's having to grow up very, very fast because of what is happening to her. I don't want to spend a lot of time on this song because it is such a sensitive topic, and I don't feel like I have things that I can say about it, you know? I do want to talk about the end of the song, which is Ethel repeating, "I'm tired of you, still tied to me, bleeding wherever you want, too tired to move, too tired to leave. I'm tired of you, still tied to me, it's just the way that you are. I'm tired of you, too tired to leave, I just want to sleep." This directly connects to what I said in the beginning about her always feeling like she is going to be tied to that identity that she has of being the preacher's daughter, because no matter what, she's always going to be, everyone's going to see her and they're going to be like, "Oh, it's the preacher's daughter." And in her mind, she knows what she's gone through. Anytime she hears that, that's all she's thinking about. This song is like incredibly emotional. It makes me, like, I have listened to this song and I have felt literally sick while listening to it. And Hayden has said that it was the hardest for her to write. A lot of people don't like this song necessarily. I do. I think it's a very beautiful song. So with that, we are moving on to Act 3 with Thoroughfare. So we are on to the Isaiah Act. This is a very complex song. This song is 9 minutes long, but Ethel is walking down a highway and a guy named Isaiah Abrams offers her a ride out west, specifically to California. Ethel takes him up on it and she just gets in his truck. We can see more of her being naive and her childishness in this song because of how quickly she trusts Isaiah. Even if she didn't really have many other options, you know, there's still certainly something else she could have done than getting in a truck with a random man. And during the duration of this song, Ethel explains that the love that she and Isaiah has is developing quickly, you know, which is concerning considering it only takes a couple of days to get from Texas to California. Even if they stop a bunch, which it mentions that they stop at like motels and diners and stuff, realistically, it's not taking more than a week to get from Texas to California. Like, at most, week and a half, I don't know. It's not taking an extended period of time. Either way, she is convinced that Isaiah is the man that she's needed all along, so we see that in the lyrics. But in these motel rooms, I started to see you differently, because for the first time since I was a child, I could see a man who wasn't angry. Remember that, because that is, like, devastating, that she thinks she has found a man that's not violent to her for the first time since she was a child. On top of Ethel being incredibly naive, we can see the unreliable narrator part because it is unclear if she even got into Isaiah's truck willingly. We know from things that Hayden has said that Isaiah had violent intentions from the beginning. There are also other newspaper clippings where there's like reports of like seeing a girl being forced into a truck. So it's like, did she even really get in there willingly? We don't know. The chorus says, "And you said, hey, do you want to see the West with me? 'Cause love's out there and I can't leave it be. And I said, honey, love's never meant much to me, but I'll come with you if you're sure it's what you need." Now we take a hard left turn into Gibson Girl. We don't know how long of a time period it's been between Thoroughfare and Gibson Girl, but there is no transition. It's right into this. And this is a very heavy song, but it is covered up by like a very groovy beat. So you have to listen to the lyrics to really understand like what is being said. But I don't want to spend very much time on this song either, just because once again, I don't really have any commentary I can make on this. It's just a very heavy topic. To sum it up, after arriving in California for however long, Isaiah begins basically trafficking Ethel in the back of clubs. While doing this, she is incredibly drugged, not consenting, and she is beginning to lose her sense of reality. Heavy on this losing her sense of reality. Like, it's the music is becoming kind of like more blurred together and distorted to reflect that. As she is drugged, she is being gaslit by Isaiah. So we have lyrics like, black leather and dark glasses, pour another while I shake my ass. He's cold-blooded, so it takes more time to bleed. Obsession with the money, addicted to the drugs, says he's in love with my body, that's why he's fucking it up. Yeah. Again, we don't know how long this time period goes on for, but we transition from Gibson Girl into Ptolemaea. Ptolemaea is one of the coolest songs on the entire album, in my opinion. If you don't think a song can be scary, listen to this song. It's scary. I'm going to read the quote from the Genius page for this song. It says, under the influence of Isaiah's drugs, Ethel begins to hallucinate. She confronts the darkness. The song is inspired from Dante's Divine Comedy, Dante's Inferno. Ptolemaea, named after Ptolemy, the circle of hell in which the treacherous reside. Maybe this is a reference to Ethel abandoning her family and faith, only to be met with a wrath far worse. This song has like haunting vocals and a deep voice in the beginning that's talking to you that can be interpreted as being Isaiah. At least that's how I see it. You can hear him saying, I followed you in and I was with you there. I invited you in. Twice I did. You love blood too much, but not like I do. No, not like I do. These lyrics also show the manipulation that Isaiah uses by blaming Ethel for following him. So it's basically saying, like, I followed you in. You're the one who went first. I invited you in. You came in. Just straight up victim blaming. In the middle of this song, Ethel is begging Isaiah to stop, and there's like this blood-curdling scream that she lets out that gives me chills every time I hear it. The first time I heard this song, I literally cried. Like, I was shaking. I was so scared. At the end, there is like a prayer, and I want to read it because I think it's pretty cool. Like, first of all, it is like the lyrics are just crazy. And in my interpretation, it blurs the lines between whether Isaiah is talking and Death himself is talking. And I think that that is really cool. So it says, blessed be the daughters of Cain, bound to suffering eternal through the sins of their fathers committed long before their conception. Blessed be their whore mothers, tired and waiting with bated breath in a fairy that will never move again. Blessed be the children, each and every one come to know their God through some senseless act of violence. Blessed be you, girl, promised to me by a man who can only feel hatred and contempt towards you. I am no good nor evil, simply I am, and I have come to take what is mine. I was there in the dark when you spilled your first blood. I am here now as you run from me still. Run then, child. You can't hide from me forever. So we kind of see that switch at the end where it's like, I am no good nor evil, simply I am, and I have come to take what is mine. It's like, is that Death talking to Ethel and kind of like, you know, coaxing her into the darkness? I just think it is so cool. This is like one of my favorite Ethel Cain songs. It is so great. There's also like an isolated vocals version of it on SoundCloud that is even scarier because it has stuff in the background that you can't hear because it's covered up by the music and the studio version. So I recommend listening to that too. But it is so cool. I think it is a really cool song. Like, I've never heard anything like it before. The next two songs are instrumental tracks. The first is titled August Underground, which is also the title of a pseudo snuff film. If you don't know what a snuff film is, look up the definition on Urban Dictionary. I don't want to get into that right now. This song is supposed to represent Ethel facing the horrors of Isaiah as she accepts that this is the end of her life. So she knows that he's a violent person now. She is enduring the violence that he is putting onto her. And this song, much like Ptolemaea, is super haunting, except there are no vocals. There's like some sort of like vocals you can hear in the background of her just like vocalizing, but there are no words. It's pretty scary. I love it. The next instrumental track is Televangelism. This song is supposed to symbolize Ethel's death and ascent to heaven. It's done through an improvised piano song, like Hayden just improvised it all, which I think is really cool. also. It's very beautiful. Towards the end of the song, there is a distortion in the music that can be interpreted as Ethel maybe not getting into heaven, but also the idea that Ethel isn't finished on earth, if that makes sense. Like, there's still 2 songs left in this album, so we know that obviously there's more to the story, but like maybe her soul just isn't done. She has more that she needs to do on earth, so she didn't finish ascending up, if that makes sense. The next song is Sun-Bleached Flies. Sun-Bleached Flies is my favorite song on the album. I know I talked about Ptolemaea, and like that might make it sound like it's my favorite song, but this is my favorite song on the album, and I am not normal about it at all. This song is Ethel reflecting on her life after she's died and making peace with the things that she experienced. If I had time to, I'd go through every single lyric in this song and explain it. Oh, hello. Come here. She's trying to get on my computer. Okay, there you go. If I had time, I would go through every single lyric in this song and explain it, but I'm trying to be as quick as I can. So I'll just pick my favorites. But listen to this song. It is so good. We have What I Wouldn't Give to Be in Church This Sunday, listening to the choir, so heartfelt, all singing, God loves you, but not enough to save you, so baby girl, good luck taking care of yourself. Ethel, though she hated it in life, yearns to be back in the normalcy of going to church on Sunday and that religion, I guess. There's a lot to the God loves you but not enough to save you quote, but essentially it's a commentary on like people saying, oh, but God loves you, but it's never shown. You know, she went through so much in her life, even though she was religious. She prayed, she was baptized, you know, like she still went through horrors. She was basically kidnapped, trafficked, and murdered. Like, it just was never shown that God actually loved her. We also have, but I always knew that in the end, no one was coming to save me, so I just prayed, and I keep praying and praying and praying. This is Ethel saying that although she was religious in life, she knew that that wasn't going to save her in the end. She was just praying for the empty comfort of it, and also she knew no one knew where she was, so in the literal sense, no one was coming to save her. Like, that was just the end for her. There was nothing she could do. The end of the song is her repeating, if it's meant to be, then it will be, and I forgive it all as it comes back to me. This is the acceptance I talked about. Ethel knows that she can't change what was fated for her, so she accepts it and forgives, even though she is, you know, already dead. She's just accepting it. She's like, yep, that happened. It happened. I also didn't mention it in my script, but I'm thinking about it. There is a part where she says, I think it's about time that I put up a fight, which I think is so sad that, like, now that she's dead, she's like, I need to start standing up for myself. I need to fight for me. Like, and she's already dead. She can't. It's just, this song is just so good. And then, as if it couldn't get any worse, we get this at the very end. I'm still praying for that house in Nebraska, by the highway out on the edge of town, dancing with the windows open. I can't let go when something's broken. It's all I know, and it's all I want now. Like that is so sad, because even she's like, what I had with Willoughby in that metaphorical house in Nebraska is all I want. Why couldn't that just happen? Why couldn't I have that life? And if you know kind of more about her and Willoughby's relationship, which once again I said I can get into if you want, because I'd really like to, it was just never in the cards for her anyway, but she just wants, that's all she wanted in life. She wanted the perfect love, the perfect family, the perfect future. That is all she wanted, and she didn't get it. Like guys, who suffered more, Jesus Christ or Ethel Cain? Oh wait, you may think that that's like the perfect end to an album. It has the acceptance, blah, 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 blah. But no, we have to twist the knife even more, of course. So Strangers is the last song in the album. This is, again, a heavy song. A lot of this album is heavy, but Strangers is about Isaiah quite literally eating Ethel. This is like base level what the song is about. It's about Isaiah being a cannibal. But also it's Ethel saying her goodbyes to her mom after death. So we have lyrics like, Freezer bride, you were sweet divine. You devour like smoked bovine hide. How funny, I never considered myself tough. So that's kind of like a double meaning there, you know, like I never considered myself tough, meaning like she knew that she was not a tough person. She didn't fight back for herself like she probably should have. But also like her meat is tough. Okay. We have her saying, I tried to be good, am I no good, am I no good, am I no good, with my memory restricted to a Polaroid in evidence. I just wanted to be yours, can I be yours, can I be yours, just tell me I'm yours. If I'm turning in your stomach and I'm making you feel sick. A lot of this song, like I said, is a double meaning. So when she's asking, am I no good, she's asking, like, am I not a good person? But also, am I not good, like, taste-wise? To Isaiah. A lot of the song is also her asking, am I making you feel sick? Just repeating, am I making you feel sick? Which can be her genuinely asking Isaiah, am I making you feel sick from eating me? But also, this could be like her hauntingly asking him, like she is taunting him, like, ooh, am I making you feel sick? Are the consequences of your actions making you feel sick? Do you feel sick for what you did? Like, that kind of thing. And then also to go a step further, this could be her asking the audience, is the song making you feel sick? Is this entire album and its themes making you feel sick? Which, like, is it? Then we have the end, which turns to Ethel saying goodbye to her mom. So we have, found you just to tell you that that I made it real far. So we have, found you just to tell you that I made it real far, and that I never blamed you for loving me the way that you did. While you were torn apart, I would still wait with you there. Don't think about it too hard, or you'll never sleep a wink at night again. Don't worry about me and these green eyes. Mama, just know that I love you. I do. And I'll see you when you get here. So this is Ethel's goodbye to her mom and forgiving her for being withdrawn. And just being like, no matter what, I love you and I'll wait for you when you eventually get to the afterlife. So the album ends pretty much where it started, with that theme of motherhood, which I love. It's very full circle. It's something people don't talk about a lot that I wish more people talked about, because although the title of the album is Preacher's Daughter, and it's talking about a lot of the trauma that was caused by Ethel's dad, her mom still plays a very vital part in kind of like why she felt the need to run away anyway, because she was like, I don't have anyone. My dad is dead. Not that he was a great person. Willoughby is gone and my mom is withdrawn. I don't have anyone. So I need to leave, even though her mom was still there physically. So that is pretty much the life, for the most part, and death of Ethel Cain. I can get into Willoughby Tucker more and explain that album if you want, because that goes more into kind of even more the reason why Ethel is so naive and why she's so quick to love people and just why she loves the way she does. But that is Ethel Cain. So yeah, let me know. I hope I did a good job. If you have any questions, ask me. I probably know the answer. So yay, bye.